before I get into the hike, I just want to tell everybody, go ahead and slap me. Take your shot. I deserve it. My last video that I posted, I had mentioned that I wanted to kind of streamline my videos, start making them a little bit more simplified, and maybe try to take a stab at making money. And that's just not me. That's not why I got into making these videos. When I got into this 15 years ago, it was just to bring content to the people and share what I was experiencing out there, because back then there wasn't much hiking videos on YouTube. That's a different story, of course, nowadays, but you know, back when I started this, it was just to just show you guys everything, and I want to stay true to that. You know, I didn't start this to make money, and I'm certainly not going to start now. So this was a crazy ambitious hike. It seems like every year these Grand Canyon hikes are just getting crazier and harder and more adventurous, and I'm kind of getting the notion that, you know, adventure and difficulty kind of go hand in hand. So, you know, it is what it is. We love adventure, so we're going to just continue to muster through these tough hikes and try to get you guys out there with us. This one is no exception. To date, the hardest Grand Canyon hike I've ever done and attempted. So we got to Lippin Point pretty late in the afternoon, and we started down the Tanner Trail and only got about 3 miles down to the saddle that's right at the head of 75 Mile Canyon, and camped there for the night. Next morning, made our way down to Tanner Beach, hit the Escalante Trail westbound toward Cardenas, camped there, pack rafted across right out of camp the next morning, got over to the Unkar Delta, and made our way up Unkar Creek for Camp 3. And the next day is when the Sufferfest began. It was off-trail, brutal terrain. We totally misinterpreted what Juneau Saddle was going to be. There's not much intel on Juneau Saddle out there. There are a few blogs, a few pictures and stuff like that, but man, did we get that one wrong. It took a lot longer than we thought. It put us a half a day behind on schedule, but we did manage to get over, got into lava, worked our way down lava, and then from there, almost at the river, there's a cutoff to get over into Carbon Canyon, and that starts the Butte Fault route itself. Then, that Butte Fault route is basically just a bunch of saddles and drainages that you have to go in and over and through to work your way all the way over to Nankoweap, and that is some brutal off-trail terrain there, and that kicked our asses, but we did finally make it over to Nankoweap Creek, and then worked our way down back to the river, camped there underneath the granaries, and the next day we thought we were going to have an easy day, but things didn't go as planned. I ended up having a breakdown. Randy too, pretty much for the most part, but I basically had a meltdown, and the next morning woke up from camp, put in right from camp, floated down about maybe a half mile, got to the LCR, got out, hit the Beamer Trail, and then worked our way all the way back to Tanner and then up and out, and that completed the loop. It was 10 days, 9 nights, and it was some of the most beautiful Grand Canyon terrain I've ever seen. But it is brutal, and we paid to see it. So I appreciate you guys stopping in to check this video out. Like I said in the beginning, I'm going to go back, stay true to my form, and use the music, and this one will be no exception. So hope you guys enjoy this one. Happy holidays, everybody.
right, here we are at the Tanner Trailhead. Very happy to see no snow, no ice, meaning no crampons or micro spikes. And down we shall go.
Drops right away. I mean, it's a steep descent down, so happy to say that both of our packs are right at 40 pounds. That's with 9-10 days of food and you know, our pack rafts, our oars, and all the gear to get a Grand Canyon expedition style hike completed, so not too bad.
That's the rim up there where we dropped out of. It's very windy. It's been windy all night. But such a beautiful view first thing in the morning.
All right, we have started day 2 here, our first full day in the canyon. Basically dropping the rest of the way down to the river, and then we'll hike about 3 miles over to Cardenas. Like I said, first full day in the canyon, loving it. Can't wait to get some Grand Canyon. Here we go, day 2. The colors right now are amazing. You have the blue-green water of the river, you have the red cliffs all around us, and then this golden brush right here that's just glowing against the red. What a beautiful day in the clouds, puffy clouds in the sky that are casting shadows across the canyons. It's just, this is the perfect day to be in the canyon.
just so you can get a flavor of what we've been dealing with, as we make our way from Tanner to Cardenas. The wind is just howling in our face, pushing you around. We're fighting it every step of the way. It's just brutal.
I'm a little concerned on the takeout because the river flows around this point and then turns to the left, and we got to get out on the far side, which is where probably most of the current's going to be. And I just want to make sure that it's not just all choked out with brush and there's no beach that we can get out before we hit the rapids, because you don't want to be in a situation where you have a problem and you're in a little raft on the Colorado River. It's one thing to be on land hiking and have something happen, you know, you got contingency plans, but when you're on the water, you don't have many options if something goes wrong, especially in that cold water. So we're just going to play it safe. We're going to hike up here, check it out, make sure we can pinpoint a pretty decent takeout spot, and then we're blowing up our rafts and hitting this as soon as we get back and eat some breakfast. So all right, we're going to get down onto this saddle right there and see if we can spot our takeout point. All right, this is the Unkar Delta from above, which is our destination here today. That's looking straight down off the cliff. At the rapids there, we would definitely want to get out before the rapids. So our number one is this beach right there, and if we fail, we'll get out at this point right here. That was a pretty cool scout this morning. I think I've done this trail 5 or 6 times, you know, the Escalante route here, and I've never been up to those ruins. I mean, I don't know if they're ancient ruins or if they're recent man-made type stuff. And when I say recent, it could still even be like early 1900s. I don't know the history on it, but anyway, that was a cool little excursion this morning. Check it out up there, do a little loop, and see what our route is, just for peace of mind. I'd be lying if I say I wasn't a little nervous. I mean, it's always a little nerve-wracking getting into a little floating toy on one of the mightiest rivers in the world, the Colorado River, but hey, it's doable. We've done it numerous times, but that first one always kind of a lot of anticipation and anxiety. But I'm sure it's going to be a blast once we get out there.
It's like bathwater, isn't it?
Oh yeah, freaking all of 33 degrees.
Icy cold.
All right, we are going. Here we go, we're off. We're on the water, baby. Woo! Woo! Yeah, baby! I'm a little puckered on we couldn't really see exactly down below the bend here, and you can hear water over here on the right. We're going left of this little island that's right here.
We got really lucky. Today was supposed to be the day where the wind was howling, and it happened yesterday, and I couldn't imagine being on the river yesterday with the wind howling.
Yeah.
It's so pleasant.
Awesome. Floating on the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon once more.
Perma grins on our face again, John.
Fucking love it.
Life is good.
Woo!
moving. It was another adrenaline rush for sure. You know, the unknown, you've never floated it before.
Yeah.
You don't know how strong the current is, you don't know how much the wind's going to affect your ability to allow you to get where you weren't trying to go.
We're all off trail now, and it's all new, so the real adventure begins now. Here we go. We have made it officially to the Unkar Delta here. We just found out that there's some ruins here on this delta, and I guess this whole delta was like a village at one point and had upwards of 1,000 people that lived here. So beautiful in here. Look at this. Awesome day. Great float, great start to the morning. Love days like today.
So we got to the Unkar Delta. We did not find water in it. So we had to make a decision to carry up water just for safety. It was a very prudent decision, not one that we are all excited about, because that's another 6 to 8 pounds that we got to carry.
We're packed down. Our packs are probably 45 pounds
Easily.
somewhere around there. Yeah.
We're really hoping we get up there, we find the water, we can dump all this.
Yeah, but better safe than sorry, so.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little intimidating hiking up this Unkar Creek, this wash here, carrying water. Not sure if we're gonna see water. You know, the unknown of going over the Juneau Saddle and all that though, so we gotta get over that to get to the water. A little unnerving, but you know, we'll deal with whatever happens. This is a beautiful wash to walk up though, pretty awesome. Some pretty good gusts coming down the canyon, up canyon. You can see why. There's a front moving in. We might even get some rain tonight and into tomorrow, so we'll see. The ground is just wet right there. This is like the end of the creek, or the beginning of it, however way you want to look at it. But as I start panning up here, you can see it start flowing more and more and more. And we got a good trickle coming down right here. All right, we have excellent running water now, so we're just gonna unload the water we carried. There's no reason to carry it anymore. And it looks like there's this really good water now. That first water we were at, it ran out. It only was visible for maybe a half mile at most. And we dumped our water out, and then we're like, should we stay or should we go, or what should we do? Then we ran into some more, so we played our chances, because we always knew we can go back to it. And we got another flow here, thank God. What a day hiking up this though. So awesome. This canyon is beautiful.
These are the unexpected surprises that you hope for. You know, and you don't realize that we've just been steadily climbing over 1,000 feet, getting close to 2,000 feet. You find these beautiful canyon wall formations, waterfalls, the water appearing, disappearing, the anxiety of, should I get it now or can I wait till later? It's all part of the adventure. That's why we're out here, baby. Loving it.
We are having such a great time in this canyon, probably partly because it's new and we've never seen it, but I mean, you get to the water where the water starts and it just comes alive. There's waterfalls,
flowing over the slick rock and with the red rock cliffs everywhere. Just awesome walk today. We saw some day hikers going back toward the river, and they said that this was the last water they saw on the way up. So we're gonna play it safe again. We watered up and we're gonna press on, just keep hiking up canyon and probably take the next best campsite that we see. All right, here's our tiny little camp spot that Randy found, just enough for 2 tents right there. And that is it. But we are at Triple Junction here, I guess is what you can call it. And if I pan up here to the north rim, you see there's a pretty good storm coming. And there is an arch up there. It's right there. You can see the hole through the rock.
Good morning, day 4. And this was our camp last night. It held up really well. It was kind of cool, man. The wind was just howling up and down these canyons. But this is what we woke up to this morning. It's spitting on us a little bit of rain. But here's the canyon wall. It's just beautiful. And then we are heading up canyon to Juneau Saddle. It's up there somewhere. Today's supposed to be windy. It says gusts of wind up to 73 miles per hour. So gale force winds as we're going over the top of a pass. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Stay tuned.
It was a beautiful morning. That sunrise on that red wall behind us above camp.
Spectacular way to start the day with a cup of coffee and that view.
Right?
That's why we're out for this opportunities like that, to see the colors, and sometimes you don't get it, and when you do, you got to really enjoy it. And we did.
Yeah. What do you think about today, man?
Well, I'm not looking forward to being on top of Juneau Saddle when there's gale force winds going 73 miles per hour. I'm not looking forward to that.
That's what the forecast said last night. Near gale force with 73 mile per hour gusts at times.
The only thing we can hope for is that these clouds don't materialize and it doesn't rain, because gale force winds and rain, that's just a double whammy.
I don't think it's going to rain. We might get spit on like we pretty much have been on and off all night, but okay, here we go. Heading up toward Juneau Saddle. Ultimately get over into Lava Creek. The creek goes actually to the left over here, but we're going to take this up and over a dry fall.
Elemental instinct to survive stirs a higher passions, thrill to be alive.
We are about 2/3 of the way up. So we thought it'd be about a mile. We could do that in 40 minutes or so. But this is what happens. You go, and all of a sudden, obstacle. And you gotta figure a way around it. It's some slow going right now. The dry creek bed is no more. And now it's just an obstacle course. And that's what I'm looking at, trying to figure out which way I want to go.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit more technical here. You want to reach up over the top of that boulder. That's what I did. There you go. Okay, not sure if that's the saddle right there or if it's a false one. We're gonna find out though. We might be right here in the saddle. But this is hard climbing these last half mile to it. Just constant bouldering. Creek bed is no more. Okay, so we came up from the saddle maybe 100 yards. We found this cairn, and that's our way down. That is steep. Look at that view though. That's gonna be a long drop all the way down to that creek bed.
You know, that was tough. The last mile and a half, 2 miles again, up to the top of the saddle, just brutal. Just climbing, obstacle course. Now we gotta go down that behind us. That's pretty darn steep, so our work is not done. Time to regroup until we take on this next section.
All right, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little puckered with this drop. It's that is really steep right there behind me. I mean, that's a drop, and not ever doing it before. We've never been here before. You know, what you see on Google Earth is what you see on Google Earth. I know there's a ramp. It's just intimidating though when you've never done it and you don't know what's kind of over this next bank and what kind of climbing is involved or anything like that. So, all right, here we go.
Came down from that. We're on a point, and we don't know, should we go down this chute here, which, nah, we don't like the looks of that at all. And then, if you look down there, it looks like, at least down low, it looks like it doesn't get clipped out. And I think if we approach from around this point here, go down below this wall, okay. Yep. It's pucker factor, but it's doable. Yeah, that's a pretty steep descent right there.
It's a little intimidating, but man, it makes you feel alive.
You absolutely, adrenaline's pumping, it's 100% focus.
coming up that drainage on the other side, my heart rate was right about 114, 115. Coming down, I'm at 132 right now. What does that tell you? Our goal now is to get to this ridge right here in the shade. And then I think we're gonna be home free all the way down to the creek bed at that point. The slope is slightly decreased. And we're in this thick pinyon forest now. Pinyons and junipers. That is what we came down right there. That is unbelievable. This chute all the way from there down to there, side hilling it, getting across over to that ridge and coming down. That was a drop. It's kind of crazy because it looks worse from down here than from the top. Looking up at that right now just looks so undoable. All right, she's giving us a fight. Now we're picking our way down through this chute, cliffs on both sides. And you just make a guess and cross your fingers. Bet it goes all the way down to the creek, but the chute is steep, but it's our last final drop to the creek. As soon as we got down to lava, the ruins are right here. Pretty awesome, look at this. Wow. That is pretty cool. Look at that. Kind of crazy how this was built. You could see the mud they used in between the rocks, and this stuff is hard too. I mean, that's like a rock itself. I don't know what they used in that mud to get it so hard, but the work that they did by putting all these holes through it, all these holes here down low, and that wall is 8 inches thick. There's some big rocks in there too. Okay, those ruins are pretty badass. This whole day has been pretty badass. Pretty gnarly, hard canyon miles getting over that Juno saddle. That was very difficult, up and down. But we're here, we're in lava, we made it. I got 1 liter of water left, and I think there's a spring about 1/4 mile down the creek here. So I know there's water in lava. That's from all the reports I've read. It's just a matter of where. Anyway, what a day. Awesome. Being in the canyon, experiencing these new places and sights, and I always say it's worth it to get off trail, but it's tough. Found the spring and it is flowing good. Look at that. Right by this huge rock. Wow, look at that. It just comes out of the mountain right here. This water just pours right out of the mountainside. Look how much is coming all at once. Look at that. That's an insane amount of water right there. Nice big pool. And looks like it's going to flow for a while. Our plan now is to follow it until it gets less and less, and then maybe we'll fill up or we'll camp there.
whole first part of this morning is just going to be along Lava Creek for a while, and then we hit the Butte Fault route, otherwise known as the Horsethief route, and start taking that over toward Nankoweap, and we'll see how far we can get today. And you know, how water comes into play and all that. So I've been fighting a really gnarly pulled muscle in my back, which actually happened before the hike, and it just compounds everything you got to do. Is just that much harder to get done because of the pulled muscle, and it's just really starting to take a toll. The wind seems to have died down. We'll see what happens. We're both really over the wind. Just had a tremendous amount of dust in the tent, and just over that. Just kind of a down morning really for me really right now. I need to get my spirits up. Maybe seeing some new scenery down here will get me going again. So we'll see. Day 5, here we go.
This is the land of erosion. You know, after being down here, you realize how this all formed and for how many millions of years. Just look at this cliff behind us. It's
That is pretty awesome. I guess that's what this Butte Fault route is known for, is all these formations along the route and stuff like that. So we're just now getting into it, and it's like a whole new canyon to hike, even though we're in the same canyon.
We're struggling to make miles because this meandering stream is presenting just all these beautiful scenes and experiences, and crossing back and forth, and you got the backdrop of the canyon walls.
All right down through there is the Colorado River. That's the south rim across the way, and we are almost to where we got to make a sharp left and start heading north along our route. Awesome canyon today. Okay, we have made it to our junction here. We're gonna head over to Carbon Canyon. Leaving the creek, we watered up. We're each carrying about 4 liters. Here we go. Butte Fault route starts now.
Wow! Holy crap. Look at the coloring and the stripes up here. Unbelievable.
like we're about to hit into Carbon Canyon here. We're hoping there's some shade in there. It is hot out here right now.
We're cooking, that's what. Making our way up the creek here. It's gotta be minimum 80 degrees out right now. And dry, parched creek bed. Just a tiny trickle of water here and there in Carbon, so don't rely on anything here. And we ran into some other backpackers down there at Lava. So they came through the Butte Fault route. They're going over Juneau, so we traded intel. Pretty much said that Quagont is flowing pretty good, decently enough, but no other water pretty much anywhere else along the whole route. Glad we loaded up. Packs are heavy, but we're able to kind of move up this dry wash. It's kind of nice not having to crisscross a creek bed or kind of boulder and shrub hop, you know. Kind of just been a nice, smooth, gravelly freeway, so we'll take that right now. Anyway, our goal is to try to get over at least into 60 Mile Canyon and camp down in there. If we can get up a little higher out of there, that would be ideal. So we'll see where we make it today. You can see the weird formations that this fault line creates. This slab is just tilted on a 45, and then there's the rest of it down to the creek bed. All right, we're back down in the creek bed because it started getting dicey up there, but it's getting really choked down here too, and a lot of obstacles to go up and over. So we only got about half mile left to the top of the saddle though. Just got to pick our way up to it. All right, we're still making our way up the creek bed. It is starting to get real narrow though, and not sure now if we're gonna have to backtrack at some point and get up on this cliff to the left of us or not. We figured we'll just give it a go and see what happens.
We can make it.
Nice.
A little bit of crumbling underneath you. Kind of get you puckered up.
Well, we got ourselves into a little bit of a predicament. We just kept going higher, and we might want to be lower, but there's dry fall down there. Yeah, this rock is really sharp, so you gotta really be careful.
Okay, we are climbing. We started climbing from the creek bed down there by that big boulder on the bottom. Climbed all the way up this, and Our saddle is in sight. It's right there. We're just gonna skirt over to it now, but man, I underestimated this saddle. This is a bitch. We're almost to the top. Another 50 yards. Man, that was a climb out of there.
There are no easy days out here. None.
All right, we are almost there. It's right there. Last push, here we go. Wow. Oh my God. Wow.
Wow is right.
Wow.
Dude, we made it. Thoroughly exhausted. But man, to have a reward like that always helps.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Oh my God. Well, good morning. We got to camp last night. Oh, probably 7 o'clock. We were coming down from the saddle, down this chute, looking for a place to camp. And we found a relatively flat spot right here. We were able to go flyless. It was an absolutely gorgeous night. Not a wisp of a breeze. Stars were just lighting up the sky. They were beautiful. Just a very peaceful back bowl here. Oh, what a lovely night. Good sleep. We got a big day ahead of us. So we're gonna try and get out of here early. What makes a trip like this really hard is it's easy walking on trail. You know, you don't really have to think about where you're going, just follow this nice trail. But when we do this off trail routes that we've been choosing, man, you got to be in focus mode. Paying attention to where you're going, but also where you're stepping. This stuff, you could easily roll an ankle, you could fall and break a leg.
Yeah.
You can these rocks are just razor sharp. With one stone, I mean, I got pokes and pricks all over me. But it could be a vicious terrain, man, if it wants to rear its ugly head.
It's a whole different set of rules when you're doing off trail in the Grand Canyon as opposed to the Sierra. You know, like the short-term stuff, like Randy's saying, you just got to really focus and watch where you're stepping. But also the long-term stuff, like there was a couple times where we got cliffed out and you just have to turn around and go back and pick another route. That's happened a couple times now on this. So you got to be focused on the short-term and the long-term choices you make in your route.
You know, we've said this in past videos. One of the things that we really like about this is the challenge, the navigating, the physical effort it takes to get up and over some of these passes.
Well, today is going to be another brutal day, though. We got
it seems like every day's got something about it that's brutal, man.
a lot of crests and saddles to go over.
First important task is getting
Water.
to get a source of water.
Yeah.
I've got about 1.5 liters to get me
I got about
8
2.
miles or so. 8 miles?
Yeah.
9 miles?
9 miles, all off trail. I got about 2, so we'll see. We'll see how the day goes. We got a long day, but more beautiful terrain along this Fault Butte route. I love it. So far, it's been awesome.
It's been a great trip, man.
All right, that's looking back up toward the saddle we came over yesterday, and 60 Mile Creek, which is dry, is right down in there. This is looking down toward the Colorado, and making our way over this saddle here, this little tiny saddle, and that ridge right there in the sunlight that starts right about where Randy is. We're going to be climbing up that ridge to get to our next saddle.
I mean, just what a beautiful morning. No breeze, no wind howling. This beautiful canyon in front of us that we have to find our way up. Oh man, What a way to start the morning.
You can see we have climbed a shit ton. There's a saddle we came over last night, panning down into 60 Mile. And across the way, there's the little Colorado, the canyon that comes out right above Randy there. We are climbing. We made it up on to the Ahwatukee crest here. Cresting over this saddle now out of 60 Mile. And look at the view as we crested over. Unbelievable. It's looking down into Ahwatukee Canyon. There's our next saddle, center screen, which will take us over into Malgosa. Look at the formations, the rock uplift over there. Incredible view. Okay, we made it down to Ahwatukee Canyon, or creek. It's dry, of course, but made it down in under 20 minutes from the saddle. There was a nice faint use trail that takes you all the way down. Beautiful little bowl in here though. Alright, that is looking back at the Ahwatukee crest. And making our way, we're about halfway now up to the saddle. There's a really faint use trail that we've been following. Kind of nice, not gonna lie. It's very faint, but it's there. Oh my God. Look at all that snow over there. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah.
Number 2 for the day.
2 down, 2 to go.
2 to go.
Okay, so we can pretty much see the rest of our route for the day. We're pretty much going to leave the saddle here and take this down just slowly and then get to that ridge right there, drop it down into Malgosa, and then we go up through the saddle there, and that'll drop us down into Quagant, and then our last saddle is right where that cloud is, right in that sandy saddle right there. And that'll take us over to camp into Nankoweap. So that is the rest of our route today. Alright, that is looking back on the saddle, and as we came around out of there, Quagant Butte just dominates. Look at that thing. That is looking down Malgosa toward the Colorado. And all these little canyons just have really cool, their own unique characteristic. This one has a lot of junipers and pinyons in it. We're taking a break right there under this big one. And this is looking back up toward the saddle that will take you over into Ahwatukee. And this is looking up Malgosa. We have begun our climb to the Malgosa crest. There's the saddle we came over out of Awatubi down into Malgosa here. And we are about to crest over the Malgosa crest here and make our way down into Quagant Creek. Gonna drop down right here, circle around, come down, and then just kind of take this ridge all the way down. And then that dark ridge line right there, we're gonna walk it all the way up to the next saddle. So that's the rest of our day. And then the drop on the other side into Nankoweap. We still got a pretty long day ahead of us, but what a beautiful day though, walking through this route. All these canyons, majestic in here. Came over this last bump, there is water in Quagant. We've been without it for over 24 hours. So it's gonna be nice to rinse off and just feel water again. Okay, so seeing how much water is here in actual Quagant, we just decided that we're going to camp here tonight and do our last off-trail saddle, which is that one right above Randy, tomorrow, instead of getting into Nankoweap today. Just been a long day, and we could definitely make it up, because once we get over this saddle and over into Nankoweap, we're on trail for the rest of the hike, the next 4 days. So we'll definitely be able to make miles at that point. So we figure let's call it early, wash up, enjoy the afternoon with water instead of getting to camp late. There's camp right down there, right along the river here. It was a long day, it was a beautiful day, but man, do you have to put in some hard miles to see the views from those saddles and crests and stuff. Not easy miles at all. We got one more to do tomorrow, get us over into Nankoweap, and then we're on trail for the rest of the route.
Good morning from Quagant Canyon. That's where we spent last night. It's a beautiful morning. We have a good morning ahead of us. We gotta get up and over this final pass. It's a long one, and then we drop into Nankoweap and hit a trail for once in the last, well, since the start of this we've been off trail. It's been tough. I'm ready for some good trail, a little easier on the ankles and feet, and get down by the river.
That was a great little camp right there along Quagunt Creek. We got to head down creek, maybe, I don't know, 300-400 yards or so, and then we'll hit that spine that I showed in one of the videos yesterday and take that all the way up to Nankoweap Butte, cross over that saddle there and drop into Nankoweap, and rest of our trip over the next 3 days or so is all on trail, a lot of it along the river. Today we're hoping to get to the granaries and have some lunch and check out those ruins and everything, and a whole nother new set of adventures coming today, hopefully. So here we go. Day 7.
Good way to start off day 7.
Yep.
Right, we're climbing up to get into the drainage. That takes us up to our saddle. And there's that spine, the beginning of it from yesterday. So we're gonna hike up the creek bed here to the left for about a 1/4 mile. And then we'll go up to the spine and take the spine route all the way up. That's our plan. Well, we decided to take the creek bed up. The spine, it's doable, but it's just too much side hilling. There's a lot of brush up there, and this is just a freeway down here in the wash, so we're gonna take this way as far up as we can and cover some ground as fast as we can. Get over into Nankoweap. Pretty cool walk this morning so far. Okay, we're making our way up and out of the dry wash because it's just getting super bouldery, as you can see down below Randy. That is a climb right there, boy, up this sandy slope. But here's what the wash basically turns into. It's that big giant boulder field right there.
Mountain goat mode again.
Last one, baby.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
4 saddles were ass kickers.
Yeah, they were. Good job, brother.
Still smiling though.
Yeah, still smiling. Okay, here we go. Making our drop down into Nankoweap.
There's that live feeling again.
A bit of an adrenaline pump there, right there.
Scaling across some slick rock at a 45-degree angle gets you going.
Glad it was dry and glad those vibrant lug soles held.
Now we're just picking our way slowly down through this bouldery wash. Very slowly.
Just look at this obstacle course that we have to get down. It's just brutal.
All right, she is making it very hard to get off this route and down into Nankoweap. This is our last boulder-filled side hill, I believe, and then we'll be down into the creek, hopefully.
So, this is our final descent down to the riverbed down there.
There it is. The confluence right down there, about a couple hundred yards. Oh, I can't wait to get there. It's going to be nice mentally and physically to be on trail again and not have to think about it. Let's finish this.
Woo!
We have completed the Horsethief route, brother.
You know, I've been, the last 3 days, I've been trying to think how to best describe this, and it's been a brutal 4 days off trail. My feet are just beat up, but it's been awesome. It's otherworldly back here.
It's prehistoric for sure.
Prehistoric. It's,
Yes.
not many people get to see the Grand Canyon like this, and it's amazing. Very tough and rugged, and it'll challenge you.
Yep. We were talking, we might end up staying another extra night out here just because, you know, when we came over Juneau Saddle from Unkar over to Lava, we got a half day behind, and since then we've never really been able to catch up. We almost did, but man, that is some rough terrain. I underestimated the saddle, first of all, so that put us a half a day behind, and then it's very hard to catch up on the Horsethief route, what we just did. It's all off trail. You know, first time doing it, just navigating through it, all that stuff, and it's just almost impossible to catch back up at this point. Depending on how far we get for the rest of today and tomorrow on trail will determine if we're going to stay out here another night. So remains to be seen, but here we go. Nankoweap Creek down to the Colorado coming up. Awesome walking down this creek.
Especially with views like that, towering above you.
Walking down through this Nankoweap Creek Canyon is, oh my God, it's one of those days where you can't keep the camera away. There's always usually one or two of those days during our hikes, and today is 100% one of them. With the water flowing and these huge red cliffs just towering above us. I mean, they are some of the largest red cliffs I have ever seen on any hike anywhere that I've ever seen. These things are massive and just shooting hundreds of feet above us. Just a wonder to walk down through this canyon. No wonder there's a main trail from the rim down to here. It warrants it for sure. This is so awesome up here. There's that iconic Nankoweap view right there. God, it's so majestic right through this section of river.
There's two of them.
All right, we've met, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 people from this boat camp down there, and they're just so nice. They've offered to take our trash for us. They've invited us over for dinner. They're having fish tacos tonight.
Maybe.
I'm sure
Probably
there's
the best fish tacos we've ever
Yeah.
had.
probably some beer if we wanted, or dessert too. They're always like that. Every time I've ever met a rafting crew on the river, they're always so accommodating. So can't say enough. They really do help out the hikers a lot. So, but anyway, look at this view, bro. Is that just
probably
not?
one of the best we've had this trip, frankly.
That is one of the best. All right, here is our camp for the night. And we're gonna go get some fish tacos with the boating crew. No cooking for us tonight.
Just breaking an empty bottle.
All right, this is the spread they got going on. We got hors d'oeuvres, cheese and crackers, fresh apples. I think he's making some kind of salsa for the fish tacos. But they got a full-on kitchen going here. Unbelievable. There's their boats down there. Beautiful. I always love it when I run into a boating crew. Awesome people.
It says, "This here's mine, you leave it alone. If you hire out to a man, you ride for his brand and treat it like it was your own." Mr. Wagoneer come out here in 1903. This country was sagebrush, mesquite trees, and sand. He carved this ranch out of blood, sweat, and guts. Be proud that you ride for his brand. If you hired out to string barbed wire, build him a fence. It don't matter if it's 4 or 5 strand. Just remember, it was you who asked for the job, so don't be sniveling when you ride for this brand, because Mr. Wagoneer, he don't hold with complainers. He'll fire one before he can quit. If you don't like this outfit, head down the trail. Find a hoss your saddle will fit. But if you get up early and catch your own bronc, show that you're making a hand, Mr. Wagoneer will be there to cover your bets, as long as you ride for his brand.
What a night. I can't say enough about that awesome boating crew that helped us out.
Those guys were spectacular in their hospitality and everything.
Today, basically got to be out of here in
3 more days. I think we're about 20-25 miles from the trailhead. So our goal is to get down under Quagont Rapids and maybe put in there, float all the way down to 60, and then maybe portage around 60 Mile Rapids, get back in and float it down to the LCR. How far we get today, I don't know. We'll see what today brings. A whole nother set of adventures most likely, and here we go, starting day 8.
So I talked to my wife last night on the inReach, and you know, being out here, this is our 8th day, and you know, you go through all the day-to-day chores and things, and you forget about certain things. And she reminded me that my daughter has a cheerleading contest on Sunday at Knott's Berry Farm, so kind of changed the dynamic of the whole thing. I really don't want to miss it, but being a half a day behind, we just never were able to catch up on that Horsethief route because it was so rugged and brutal. But we're gonna give it our best, give it everything we got to get out of here in 48 hours. So as long as we can get to Lippin Point by Saturday afternoon, get home kind of late Saturday night, but at least I'll be there for my daughter. So got a new fire under our ass. Here we go. Okay, we are filling up our rafts. We are waterproofing everything in our packs. It's raining. It's starting to get harder and harder. So this ought to be interesting getting in the river with a little bit of sprinkling going on.
All right, buddy, here I go.
See you down there in a second. Bye, Johnny.
Come on, buddy.
All right, we are off. Here we go. Getting into some turbulent water here. For a minute I got out in this current here, and then it spit me around, and we were going backward right here, and it was everything we could do, and we just couldn't get back out. It just sucked us right back into this beach. So we're kind of at the point where we were gonna just try to make some miles on the river, you know, easy miles instead of hiking it. But this river is not easy today with the wind and the rain. We're just gonna deflate, pack up again and hit the trail.
So here we are, maybe a couple hundred yards
Not even that.
downstream.
Not even 100 yards. We took off right around the corner.
And we got out there, and then we got about there somewhere, and I'm paddling nonstop, and I'm not going forward. The wind's howling, and the current back eddy is pulling us back. And John hears the roar way down there, and we throw up the white flag. So I surrender, you win.
Okay, so here's the rapids that I heard when we were up caught in that other eddy. And I mean, not that our boats couldn't do it, but once you get into there, we have no control. We really don't have much maneuverability, as we really learned. And look at this giant eddy right here. Just pulling it back. And then there's more rough water, probably class 1 rapids, I would say, right through that chute up there. So I think we definitely made the right call on pulling out right here. There's no question in my mind. I wouldn't want to deal with all this.
Disappointed. Really looking forward to a nice float. But I'm glad I'm alive and I'm dry. That's what we're dealing with throughout this trip, trying to avoid that cactus, man. Everywhere you look, the desert's trying to grab you and poke you and deter you from venturing forward. But we say, F it, forward we go.
So once again, this is what we're doing, up and around and over, and it's just, we're going quarter mile, half mile at most. At most. We're behind schedule. Just this route has been brutally slow. Every day's been a hard day. Every day there hasn't been an easy one.
See all this?
Looks like blood to me.
The gash on my cheek,
Yep,
the gash on my nail.
yep. That's
I don't
Grand
care
Canyon.
about any of that. That's fine. But what I do care about is really fucking with my brain right now, because we've gone a half a mile in a fucking hour.
Yep.
That's why. I'm over it. I'm about to throw in the towel. I'm so done now. I don't know what to do anymore. It's like everything is fighting against me to get out of here in time. And pretty much since we got back out, we can't find a trail anymore. It's like the hardest, toughest going. Here's what we're hiking through. See any trail right there? Just boulder fields of shit. Getting stuck. So done. Alright, I pretty much had a breakdown. I'm just this canyon's just throwing everything at us. Everything at this point. And you know, of course, on a day like today where I really had to get as far as I could, just throwing everything at us that's holding us back. And I'm at a point where I just want to give up. But I can't. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep trying. Oh well, all I could do is just keep trying to pick my way down this river. Get back to the trailhead. See if I can make it home in time. hard to enjoy this beauty right now because of that. And it sucks because this is beautiful. What was that?
Blows my ass.
I've officially lost it, dude.
Sucks.
Oh man.
She wins.
She wins. Everything we got right now.
Expect the trail. There's no fucking trail.
We're digging deep, brother, right now.
Digging very deep.
Find your way back. Find your way back to her heart. Find your way back. Find your way back to her heart.
Such a high last night, probably one of the highest moments on the whole trip. Now this is probably the lowest of the trip right now, less than 12 hours later. And I just, this canyon is kicking our asses right now.
I thought we were conquering, and now I'm feeling a little defeated right now. It's been a nightmare of off-trail obstacle course all the way through here.
All right, we're both kind of getting our spirits back up a little bit here. The sun's coming back out and the trail's not so bad anymore. We're able to walk on these ledges and it's going pretty quick right now. We're about a mile and a half from 60 Mile Rapids, and then another mile and a half past that will be the LCR. And that's our minimum destination, is to get to the LCR tonight. We have found camp. We're about quarter to a half mile upriver from the LCR. So pretty much all we have to do in the morning is just put in, cross, get to the LCR, and hit the Beamer Trail and head for Tanner and make miles. I've been on that trail, so I know that thing is an actual trail. Today was one horrendous day. It was one of the toughest mentally days I've ever had. It broke me for a minute. But you just, I mean, what do? You're out here in the middle of the canyon. You got to find the courage to get back up and just keep trucking, just keep going. It was tough, but we did. There is a trail from here all the way to Nankoweap, but it's almost like you're still working just as hard as off trail. The only difference is it gives you kind of, like a way to go where you're not trying to decide where to go. It's telling you where to go, but it's just as hard. The steps on it, the cactus dodging, the bushwhacking, the bouldering. I mean, they call it a trail, but sometimes it's just like off trail. And that's a Grand Canyon trail for you. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I got this thing and got another good cut on my finger and I'm messed up.
Thoroughly thrashed, exhausted mentally, physically. Somehow we survived. but man, has it been grueling every day. Immense beauty, so immense highs and immense lows. And
So this big giant cliff here is, right below that is the LCR, so we're not too far. And this is our home for the night right here at this campsite. So we're gonna get set up, get washed up. It's 4:15, and we're whooped. We're done.
Day 9, we had a very pleasant evening. A little couple drops of rain, that was it, no wind. Very peaceful, slept great. I think there's a 30% chance of rain today, but it doesn't look too bad. We're gonna try and get an early start. We got a big day ahead of us. The float to the little Colorado is gonna start down there. And we only have to go downstream 500 yards, 700 yards, somewhere like that. So here's our last bit of staging up right here. As you can see, flow is pretty calm, it looks. Yeah, this can be a nice, easy float. You know, from what my little boating experience tells me is you take what the river gives you. You know, don't force it, just go with the flow. Go with the flow, Johnny. Go with the flow, right?
Go with the flow, baby. I was not going with the flow yesterday. We are off. There was camp. We are on our way. This is peaceful. I wish we could have did this for a lot longer yesterday. It would have made a world of difference. Yep. As you can tell by the color, we have made it to the little Colorado, baby. Awesome, look at this water. I've never seen it this color in the times that I've been here. Look at that aqua blue. God, that is so beautiful.
Wow. What a treat to have the water blue like this.
First time I've ever seen it like this.
Wow.
Last time I was here, it was chocolate milk. That is one heck of a beautiful shot right there. I mean, Grand Canyon does not get much better than that right there. One of the best scenes in the Grand Canyon I've ever seen. It's amazing what these hikes do. Such extreme ups and downs. I was at my lowest low yesterday, and I was probably at one of the highest highs just the night before, and now I'm right back up close to that again.
Was that about just the coolest little pack rafting little float there?
That was one of the best, man, coming into this aqua blue water. Unbelievable. I mean, I've never seen it this color, so it's new for me too.
Well, we got some miles to make now, don't we?
About 8 or 9 miles to Tanner, and then we'll see how far up the trail we can get to set us up for the out tomorrow.
Yeah,
Hopefully it's not a river to rim day tomorrow.
yeah,
We'll see what the day brings us.
All right, let's see what we can do.
Let's do it.
All righty.
totally different pace this late in a trip. Legs are in better shape. We're on trail right now. The packs are lighter. Great day. Great day for hiking. This Beamer trail is like a paved road compared to what we're used to. This is so nice. Not having to think about each step. I'm mentally drained from the last 5 days. So today's been a breather so far.
And we are almost swinging around here to the Palisades. We're probably a couple miles out before we drop down into Palisade Creek. But these Palisade cliffs have been a treat to walk on today. It's been awesome. Okay, we have left Palisades Creek. We took probably about an hour break there. It is hot. It's easily 75, 80 degrees in the sun here. So I just needed to cool down, get some calories, make our last 3-mile run to Tanner. And then we'll see how we're feeling when we get to there and if we want to water carry up the trail a little bit to make tomorrow's exit a little easier. Play that one by ear. This little flat area here in the Palisades Creek area, just above Tanner, is pretty unique. It's really awesome. I remember it leaving an impression on me the very first time I've ever hiked this section, which is the one and only time, and still making another impression on me. It's really cool through here. Just wide open and flat, and then you get into these like tree tunnels and then pop out and it's wide and flat again. It's really awesome.
The clouds have moved in, it's cooler. We could get some good colors tonight. I love hiking at this time of night. It's just crisp and energizing, so we need a little bit of that energizing right now. What a great trip though.
Tanner has come into view down there by that big sand dune in the rapids. Almost there. We have made the complete loop right here at this cairn.
But it ain't over.
But it's not over.
We gotta go all the way up.
Yep.
But let me finish the loop.
Right there, brother.
Boom.
Good job, man. Dude, that was the toughest hike mentally and physically I've ever done in my life.
On trail in the Grand Canyon, it's brutal. Off trail in the Grand Canyon, whole another level of brutal.
just, yeah, to your point, worn out mentally, worn out physically. Just next time, let's have a little light day in between, you know. Please.
I thought I had planned light days, but Grand Canyon had something else in store for us on this route, brother.
Exactly.
Sorry.
She gets her way every time too.
Yep. I thought I did have a couple light days in there, but boy, was I. We got our asses handed to us a couple times.
I remember hearing you say, today should be a light day. And come the end of the day, I'm like, what? What part of that day was a light day?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Well,
yeah, every day has been a grinder.
Yes.
And it ain't going to be done grinding until we get to the car.
Yep. I know. Hell of an adventure, though. My God, was that an adventure.
Always is, man. Always is. The predicaments we get ourselves into.
Yep.
And, you know, the thing I like about being on a trail with Johnny, too, is problem solving. You know, there's always, when you go off trail, there's always predicaments you get yourself into. And, you know, we'll stop and we'll talk them through and we make a decision. It may not be the right decision, but we're going to throw it into mountain goat mode and make it work. And fortunately, no broken bones, but we're still doing good.
To come out the way we did, I look at that as one hell of an accomplishment.
Exactly.
Cool. All right, brother. Well, it was a hell of a trip. Congrats. We just did the loop. So let's go get some water and figure out where we're going to camp tonight.
You got it, buddy. Let's do it.
All right, man. This is a first for me, actually. I've dropped down Tanner a number of times, but I've never climbed up it to Lippin. So this will be a first. I think it's going to be a pretty spectacular night to hike up this. The lighting is just going off every direction. Well, last night in the canyon, couldn't ask for more.
Half your life you struggle, half your life you fly, half your life making trouble, half your life making it right. One day I'm the exception, most days I'm just like most. Some days I'm headed in the right direction, and some days I ain't even close. I'm a little bit steady, but still a little bit rolling stone. I'm a little bit heaven, but still a little bit flesh and bone. Little found, little don't know where I am. I'm a little bit holy water, but still a little bit burning man. Burning man. Yeah, I always love the highway. I just don't run it as fast. I still go wherever the wind blows me, but I always find my way back. I still don't get it.
But beautiful, just so spectacular. I'm not talking about you, Johnny. I'm talking about the canyon walls. You're beautiful too, though, especially that gray beard you got going on right there.
This is hard. Not because the trail's hard. I can't stop pulling the camera out. Oh my God. I'm not even thinking about walking up this right now. I'm just like in awe of the show that we're getting right now.
Yeah, that's what makes hiking at this time of night so nice. It's cooler.
Awesome.
You're distracted by the beauty while you're grinding it out.
Yep.
So my wife asks me all the time, why do I do this? And I think now that I'm getting older, I do it primarily to see if I can still do it. I love the adventure, the unknown. I love going out a trail, not knowing where it's going to go, and end up seeing just the most beautiful scenery possible. I like that aspect of it. I like the physical challenge of it. It's important to push yourself sometimes, especially as you get older. It keeps me focused because it's hard doing this. You just can't wake up one day and put on a backpack and think you can be out here for 10 days enduring what Mother Nature throws at you. And this trip in particular, it just was tough terrain, but man, magnificent. Being in places you never imagined yourself being. I used the term the other day, it's otherworldly back there. It really is. Had a great time with John. He pulls these trips together, does a phenomenal job. It's great being on trail with him. Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to do these trips for many more years because they are a blast.
All right, this is it. We are packing up camp. This is day 10. What an incredible 9 days. I don't really have any words to describe these last 10 days, 9 nights. It was the most brutal hike I've ever done, physically and mentally. It just beat the shit out of me, both. And it's gonna take a while to recover from this one, that's for sure. That is a brutal landscape out there on the north side over here. It just reassured me that you really got to know what you're doing to hike that terrain and be over there for any amount of time. So what a trip though. I mean, like I said, I can't put it into words. There's nothing to really describe what we just went through. Was it a trip of a lifetime? Was it my favorite hiking trip? No. Would I attempt that route again? Yes, I would. Now that I have the intel and I know where water spots are, where the good camps are, how fast I can move through the terrain, stuff like that. But other than that, Randy's been great. He's such a great guy to be on trail with. Always trying to look for the positive. I had a pretty big breakdown and he just talked me through it, muscled me through it, and we still all found the courage to just keep filming, keep pressing forward, because that's all you can really do out here anyway. So we got about another, I say 3,000 feet to climb, over 5 miles, I think, something like that, 4.5, 5 miles. And we hit Lippin Point, back to the car, and we're out of here. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Babe, I'm coming home.
Maybe I'll go to the desert, find myself in the Joshua tree. If we pass in the night, then just hand me a light and tell me you burn just like me. I'm a little bit steady, but still a little bit rolling stone. I'm a little bit heaven, but still a little bit flesh and bone. Little foul, little don't know where I am. I'm a little bit holy water, but still a little bit burning man. Burning man. Still just a burning man. Just a burning man.
We are maybe a third of the way up that wall to our car in freedom from the canyon. She just won't let us out easily.
This climb out is brutal after what we've been through the last 10 days. Everything on my body is just screaming at me. What are you doing? I'm gonna make my daughter's cheerleading competition, and that makes me happier more than anything. That's all that matters. Getting out of here on time.
Great trip being with you out on trail, buddy. Can't wait to do another one.
Yep. I mean, like I said, was it the trip of a lifetime? No. Did I have a lot of fun? Not really. It was a lot of grinding, but there were some major highs in this trip and major lows. Probably one of the biggest mood swings in terms of what trips can do to you that I've ever experienced on any hike I've done. From, I mean, the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. Incredible.
All right, buddy.
Really all I got, man.
It's good enough, man. We're
Grand
done.
Canyon 24 in the books.
Out.
Till next time.
Good morning, day 10. We are exiting, and I wanted to give a shout out to my Pilates instructor, Karen, for helping me rehab my knees so that I can do these amazing trips. If it wasn't for her and Pilates, I think I would struggle to do these things. So thank you, Karen. I really appreciate it, and happy trails for future events, I hope.
Oh, and I want to give a shout out to Randy's Pilates instructor as well for getting him through this hike.